Welcome Year 9 to this tutorial in how to begin your summer project for GCSE photography. The first thing you'll need to do is be able to access our photography SharePoint site. This is where we'll put all of your pictures on, we'll do all of your feedback, and you will use it as your main portal between home and school. Now, how to access that? First of all, you need to go onto Pen With Them Girls on the website and click on the envelope button to log into your Microsoft Office account. Remember, your Microsoft Office login will be exactly the same as your login for your school account. When you're on your Microsoft login, you can then go to Outlook. And when you're in Outlook, you can then scroll down on the left-hand side to see which groups you have been connected to. Can you see right at the bottom there, it says groups. Expand that, and if you can't see it, just click more. And if you scroll down on there, you will find the Photography 2021 and the email that has been sent to you. Have a look at this email, and it will tell you a couple of things you can do with our Photography SharePoint. You can start a conversation, you can share files, you can connect your apps, and you can add to the team site. Just click on it now, and it will take you to our Photography SharePoint. You can also access your SharePoint through the waffle tool and the SharePoint link here, and that will also take you to our SharePoint. So please bear in mind our SharePoint is called Photography 2021. Once you're in the SharePoint, you'll be able to see a number of different things. Each student is allocated with a file, and in that file at the moment you'll see a feedback folder and a summer homework task. Here is where you'll upload, you see, upload all the files to do with the summer homework task, which I'll talk to you about today. In this folder as well, you'll find all our summer preparation tasks. And eventually, when we start our lessons, we'll have resources, passwords for different accounts, such as Weebly, and then backup files from Weebly for your coursework. So let's have a look at this summer homework task. Click on the top link, 01 Summer Preparation Tasks. In there, you'll find our order form. So if you've forgotten what you need to order for photography, it's here. And there's also a link to the website for second-hand cameras, which is an absolute deal if you'd like to use that. You'll also find our option showcase work that we did with the aqueous motion. That's what we did with our little sample sessions. You can have a look through that should you wish. And then you'll find our main summer tasks. I've saved it as both PowerPoint and PDF just for accessibility. But today I'm going to open up that PowerPoint document. Okay, so this is our transitional task aimed to build a bridge between Year 9 studies and Year 10 GCSE photography. So it's an introductory task. What I would like you to do, well, first of all, let's introduce this project. So to prepare yourselves for the start of GCSE photography, we would like you to complete this task over your summer holidays. You have chosen photography, and we do hope at this stage you'll be as passionate about the subject as we are. This also does mean a lot of dedication on your side by completing these tasks that are set on this slide to the best of your ability. And then once this task is completed, you'll need to upload your PowerPoint onto SharePoint, as I showed you previously in this video. This project should take a minimum of 4 hours. And please email me if you have any problems with this homework. When presenting your work, you will need to get used to working on a computer. For this initial project, you're going to be working on PowerPoint. However, when you are in lesson, we will be using Weebly. You also need to make sure that you are annotating using size 12 font only. You can create headings in size 16 font, and you need to choose a professional typeface or font that's legible, such as Arial or Times New Roman. So the first task of your project is to actually create an A3 collage on an A3 setup PowerPoint. Now, to help you with this, I've left a template A3 document in the SharePoint, and you'll see it. There it is, A3 template PowerPoint. So you're welcome to click on the 3 dots, download that, and then work into that template and then you can upload that to your area when you're done with it. So for the first task, you are going to fill that first PowerPoint slide with lots of images to do with nature. And it's inspirational images of nature, so being more specific, such as textures in nature, patterns in nature, and lines in nature. You can just see it down here. Once you've researched all of these sections over here, so you've researched these images and patterns and lines and colours and shapes, then that is your first slide completed. I don't want any gaps. I don't want any white space. I want the whole PowerPoint slide filled with lots of images, inspirational images. Use websites like Yahoo Images, Google Images, Pinterest is really good as well. So that's the first task and first slide on your PowerPoint. For your second slide, I want you to research the work of Javiera Estrada. She is a natural form artist who uses aqueous motion. And if you think back to the sample session that we did year 9, when we looked at the work of Mark Mawson, he also created these aqueous motion patterns. What's different about Javiera's work is she starts to add natural forms in there, which links perfectly with your first project in year 10. Now, Javiera has a lot of different pictures that she takes. She is a contemporary artist. She takes lots of images. However, I would like you to focus on these two links, Nocturnal Visions and Fleur de Sel. The reason being is those two links will enable you to access more precise imagery. You don't want to go off the beaten track, as it were. So let's escape from here and let's just have a look at those two links now. So we've got Nocturnal Visions and we've got Fleur de Sel. So you can click on these links in the PowerPoint. They will take you to her work. You can see these are her abstract pieces from Nocturnal Visions. And if I go back on here, Fleur de Sel. So just familiarise yourself with her work. Think about how she's created these designs. Remember what we did in lesson in our year 9 showcase. Once you've got familiar with her work, I would like you to choose 12 of her images. So 12 images to have a look at. There is such a variety of work there that I think 12 would be a nice, good number. And those 12 images, I would like you to collage them together, and that will make your second slide on your A3 PowerPoint. So far so good. These are quite simple tasks. You're going to be, first of all, getting your inspirational images from nature, such as textures, patterns, and lines. And then the second task, you're going to be creating your A3 PowerPoint slide, second page, on the work of Javiera Estrada, and of course, adding those 12 images. Now we move on to your third slide on your PowerPoint. So this is one PowerPoint document. We're on our third slide. Of the work of the artist, okay, Javiera, which you can see on here, lots of different work. Choose your favorite image out of all of them. So you can either choose from these ones, as I said before, or we've got these ones here on Fleur de Sel. So any of these from either Fleur de Sel or Nocturnal Images. Okay. For me, my favorite one is the Rainbow Connection. It's this one over here. I think it's really nice. There's lots of lovely colour in there. Let's close that down. So once you've got your favourite picture in mind and you've had a good look at her work and you're really happy with the picture that you have chosen, then I would like you on the third slide in your PowerPoint to choose that one image and then create a semi-analysis on it. Okay, so you're looking at subject, elements, media, and intent. So paste that picture in the top left-hand corner of your third slide on your PowerPoint and then create a semi-analysis. Now, the link to the semi-analysis is here. It's the second slide on this PowerPoint. Actually, it's the third slide. And then you've got subject, elements, media, and intent. So subject, nice and straightforward. Let's begin. Describe what you can see in the photograph and explore the image's genre. So the photographer of his work is called Javiera Estrada. We've learned that already. So we can take that off. And you can write that. The title of this photograph is called, and it's the one that I liked on this one, is called The Rainbow Connection. Okay, that is my favourite picture. The genre of this photograph is, well, it's still life and it's natural forms. And the props I can see in this particular picture are, well, I can clearly see in this picture here, we've got lots of flowers in there, maybe orchids, if I'm being specific. And there's a variety of different sort of floating colours in rainbow effects that are coming over the top. So it's the idea that these flowers have been submerged in water, there's been coloured milk or coloured dyes or coloured paint poured all over the flowers, and then we've taken that photography. So as you work your way through, you're going to talk about the subject, here's the elements, there's the media, okay, and there's the intent, okay. So all of those link in. And again, in terms of media and technique, you can always have a look at the work from what we did in the Year 9 session, which is here, and that work of Mark Mawson. So again, you can have a look through that aqueous motion, what he does, how he does it, because we've already had a little bit of an experiment with this already, so that does give us a bit of a head start. Okay, so that is that slide in your PowerPoint. So we've got one with the collage of natural forms. We've got two with the 12 images from Javiera Estrada. And the third slide is going to be your semi-analysis. So far, so good. You're researching, you're looking into this particular artist. Your third stage over here now is to start to plan how you are going to create this aqueous motion natural form shoot. Now, to help you, I've left a link here. So read this article, have a look through. I really like this article because it talks about how this artist goes through step by step in photographing his flowers. So it could be a tub, it could be you could do this in your bath and take some aerial shots. If you've got a bath or a sink, you could float some flowers in there and then introduce some colours. Maybe it could be coloured milk. It just can be plain milk if you wanted to keep it quite ghostly. And then you can see, so the flowers are weighted down. They're in a tank, your sink, your bath. Be creative with this. You're getting your camera. You can see it's setting up. We've adding some milk in there. And you can see just from here how these lovely images are created by just pouring milk over. It could be flowers floating in your bathtub. Pour that milk over, maybe some flowers. It could be from your garden, or you might want to pick up flowers from a garden centre or from a florist or from Asda and then photograph them. And you can see how these lovely, lovely images can then be edited a bit on Pixlr or on any editing software. So this one's got a lovely pink, or sorry, blue tint to it. Originally it was pink. This one's gone for more of a monochromatic effect, okay? But it's that journey that you can see from start to finish, okay, which will help you. And feel free to use these pictures when you do your next stage in your homework. And that is your plan. So you'll need to write a shoot plan that explains how you are going to make these lovely images inspired by Javiera Estrada. So are you going to eat your bath? Are you going to put some milk in that water? Are you going to get your camera ready? Are you going to do bright colours? Are you going to keep it monochromatic? It's your personal preference, okay? And then type up that shoot plan onto the 4th page on your A3 PowerPoint. You can include images to support your ideas. And of course, feel free to take those images from that website link, which is up here. You could use those as well. And they are really useful to include because it kind of shows you, as I said, step by step, the kind of things that you can do. Okay, we'll get on to the creation stage. So now you've looked at natural forms over here. You've looked at your artist and you've done a semi-analysis and you've done your shoot plan. It's time to actually make that shoot. So I'm looking for about 35 photographs. And of those 35 photographs, you're going to select your 3 best images from them. So when you take your 35 photographs, you'll need to be able to print off what we call a contact sheet. Click on this link here and it'll show you how to make a contact sheet. By basically collecting the images, you can select all of those images once they're on your computer, like this person's doing here. And then if you right click and click to print, you can change it so it makes you a contact sheet. Let me just play that so you can see it. So with all the images selected, drag the slider down and contact sheet, and it will print off a contact sheet for you. If you don't have access to a printer, you can print this to PDF, and then you can just do a snippy from there, or you can snip the whole thing. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. But you can include a copy of your contact sheet, and that's a really useful way of seeing all your images from your shoot. Once you've got your shoot of at least 35 images, you're going to select your 3 best from the shoot, your 3 very favourite ones. Remember, in a shoot of even up to 150 images, you might only get maybe 1 or 2 that are your best ones. So just be mindful of that. So 3 images. And then you can edit them using something called pixlr.com. Have a little play around with it. You did use this in that Year 9 photography session. So again, you can open up the images that you've taken, you can upload them on here, you can have a little play around. So for instance, this could be my image that I've taken at home. I've done a really good job, haven't I? And then you can, of course, do some simple adjustments using the adjustment tool. Auto adjust, brightness and contrast, for instance. We'll just quickly give it a little bit of brightness, a bit more contrast, a bit more moody. And then, of course, on here, you can go on to the hue and saturation. You can start changing the colours around a little bit and having a little play around with what you want to do. Top tip, if you are wanting to do a bit of editing, is take some screenshots of your editing of your work, because that's always handy. And then finally, once it's all done, you've done your edits, then it's time to evaluate. So on slide 5, underneath your best images, your 3 best images, so your 4th slide was your shoot plan and your contact sheet. Your 5th slide over here is adding on your best images, and underneath that will be your evaluation. So tell me, what has been successful? This image is successful because, this image has worked because. Okay, evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of your final images. And once that all is done, once that all is saved, you can then go onto the SharePoint, okay, which is over here, and upload your work. So again, you'll go in your little folder, you can see the summer homework task, and literally you will click upload, click the file, find the file in your area, and then you would upload that for me, and that will appear then on my SharePoint, so I can give you some feedback on that. And that's it. There are a few other things on this site that you can have a look at. For instance, I've got my website over here, which contains all the information about GCSE photography. You can see current live student portfolios are here. You'll also see some more portfolios when your work appears on my website as well. The link to Weebly. Okay, don't set anything up on that yet. I will do that when we start in September. You'll find Javiria Estrada's website here as well, so you can flick to that directly from the SharePoint. And these are really handy just to show you the kind of level of expectation. This is grade 9 coursework, book 1, book 2, so it's year 10, year 11, and then that's a grade 9 exam book, all from the same student. Very good to watch, okay? And just get an idea of the quality of images, the level of understanding through annotations and development work as well. So they're always really handy to have a look at. As I said, at any point you want to talk to me about anything, any point you're not sure about anything, please do have a word with me. And I will respond to your emails pretty quickly because I do have them on my phone. And I think that's it. So enjoy.